One of the ongoing themes of ITModTalks and IT Mod Week has been the work that federal agencies are doing to make their IT work today and also years into the future. Rick Miller is Senior Director for Public Sector Sales at Red Hat. Rick, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. We're about a year now into the Biden administration. What are you seeing as far as these organizations having success in modernizing their IT infrastructures?
Oh, thanks, Francis, for having me today. It's my privilege to get to talk to you about this, especially from a technology and Red Hat perspective. So I don't know how much our audience might know about, what Red Hat does. I think we're a pretty popular name, but as agencies are migrating to the cloud, they're looking for ways to be able to scale and get elasticity and greater reliability on those applications. And there's been a move to kind of move out of the on-prem data center infrastructure and get into the cloud infrastructure to free up costs in their operating budgets, et cetera, and get them the scale and the reliability that they need. But along with that, where Red Hat really comes into play with that is our OpenShift platform, which is really a container platform. It's looking at a Kubernetes based. I think most of our audience will understand Kubernetes or will have heard that term. But Red Hat has taken Kubernetes and put it on steroids and made it a full-blown application development platform. And that really provides the flexibility and scalability for our customers to run their applications in a container platform on anybody's cloud. So we try and make our customers cloud agnostic. They can feel free to substitute their infrastructure underneath that. They can run on-prem. They can run in any of the major hyperscalers. And that gives them tremendous flexibility and cost savings to be able to optimize the cloud infrastructure that they're running on and get the flexibility of running the applications wherever they need to run them.
How has the modernization effort that agencies have undertaken helped them to secure their systems better? Security's probably been one of the most common concepts we've heard about.
Right. Well, as probably most people will know, the clouds are FedRAMP. And so we have the FedRAMP security classification, that gives the agencies the best feeling that they can have in terms of having a secure cloud under them. In addition to that, our platform, runs with the security of Red Hat Linux underneath, and all of that containerized application platform, if you will, inherits the security of both the cloud it's running on as well as the operating system that it's running on. So you start with a secure foundation at the operating system level, and then all those security features bubble up through the OSI stack all the way up to the top of the application through their middleware integration tool suites that they use in there for developing applications. And that's about as secure as you can get. Having all those certifications. Red Hat security is a key thing for Red Hat. It's built into our software development lifecycle model. And maybe some of our customers don't know what our development lifecycle model is for the products that we provide them, but we're really an open source software developer. And that means we use the open source community for the best of all ideas and innovations. And then we see what's being adopted in the open source world. We bring it into Red Hat, and then we harden it for our enterprise customers so that they have confidence that they have full support from a vendor like us. And we have hardened the product to all of the security specifications that the federal government needs to run to.
We're a number of months into the Biden administration's executive order on customer experience. What are you seeing agencies doing as far as their digitization efforts, delivering better digital services to citizens as a result of the modernization efforts they're undertaking, Rick?
I'll give you two great examples. Assume it's okay to mention a couple of agencies and give them plugs for kudos that they've done. But as they've migrated to the cloud and to the platform, they've pretty much, these agencies have all adopted a DevSecOps mentality. They understand the concept. They understand they need to move in that direction. It's a people, process, technology package that, it's not flipping a light switch and all of a sudden you're a DevSecOps, organization. There's culture and training and people that are involved, but the platform has made leaps and bounds in their ability to have confidence in their software development lifecycle, from beginning an idea to pushing it into production. And the platform secures each of those segments of the SDLC, whether they're doing agile development or waterfall development, it doesn't make any difference. The platform is staying and holding them true to their configurations. And so security parameters, settings, configurations aren't changing from dev to test to pre-prod to prod. You know that what you're building in the dev cycle is going to show up in the prod cycle, and the platform is enforcing that rigidity. Rigidity is probably, security is a better word, but security is about sustainability and rigidity, right? You don't want people deviating from your security standards in the software development lifecycle. And so I think Social Security has been a great agency and an example. IRS has. And when we had the pandemic initially, and we had the first fiscal bills that came out that wanted to award the checks to everybody in that, they quickly spun up an application from scratch inside 30 days to distribute checks to every person in the United States that qualified for that check. And that didn't exist when the bill came out. So the platform enabled them to quickly build and gave them the confidence that it would scale immediately and do what they needed it to do. And SSA, it was kind of in a similar situation. A lot of those disability checks, et cetera, that came out of that bill, they needed to put that together quickly, and they did the same exact thing that IRS did because they were already on a platform that enabled that speed.
Rick, I talked to a federal chief information officer today who reminded me that the system that she modernizes today, it won't be modern 2 years from now. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for organizations to modernize, not just now, but moving forward?
There's a lot of areas for modernization, but I still think there's a lot of room for modernizing legacy apps. And what we have seen over the last couple of years is a rapid adoption of the cloud concept, a rapid adoption of the platform as a service in the cloud concept, and all the scalability and cloud native and reliability and security features that new infrastructure enables them. But it also to take legacy apps that is running their business or running their businesses, those usually take a lot more time and thought to modernize, because to make them truly cloud native, you're going to have to rewrite the application. And I think there are a lot of business critical apps that are used in all the agencies that are, because it's a big effort, they have taken advantage of the cloud move, the platform move, et cetera, to do all their new requirements on, because they can move rapidly. And I think those business apps are lagging because there's just so much the manpower that's assigned can do. They have to prioritize, and things keep moving and changing. But the cloud is going to enable things like, rapid access to AI and data lakes that are, in there, and the multiple cloud services that are coming out. But those legacy apps are going to have a difficult time taking advantage of all those modern services if they don't get the application modernized itself into the cloud native format it really needs to go to. So it's a push-pull for the agencies. If they had unlimited resources, they'd have people migrating the cloud or migrating the legacy apps as fast as they're doing the new builds, but it's not a zero-sum game.
Rick Miller of Red Hat, great conversation. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate the time, Francis.